supporting you in your dog parenting journey. The Dynamic Dog Owner with Debbie Potter. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Dynamic Dog Owner, the podcast designed to support you, the dog parent, in your dog parenting journey. Because dog parenting isn't as easy as we think, is it? It sounds easy. Get a puppy, it'll be fun, it'll be easy. And then you realise, oh, actually it's not as easy as that. And there's an awful lot of human emotions come into play. We realise that we are half the battle, and actually we need to do a lot of work on ourselves. And it's a lot of changes from our point of view that actually help our puppies and our dogs continue to have or continue to have the best life possible. So the podcast is designed to support you on your dog parenting path. We don't talk about specific training. We have our online hub, the Potterpool Academy, for that. Do check out the link in the description because there is a link to get your first 3 days free. And then you can test it out, see what you think of it, and sign up if you wish. So what we're going to be looking at today is basically a topic that I think is a misconception often. And yeah, we just have to think about it. So the fact that it's not actually dog training, we talked about this kind of on and off in different episodes, but dog training is not about training dogs. I know that sounds really silly. It's called dog training. Dog training is about you. We often think that our dog has got to change their behaviour. Our dog has got to make all the sacrifices. Our dog has got to do the changing. But actually, 99% of the time, it's actually us. So we're going to talk about the role of the person in dog training and how actually me as a dog trainer, I don't train dogs, I train you. So success comes in training when there's good communication more than anything, good communication between you and your dog. So it's that communication that then minimises unwanted behaviours because dogs just do what works. In my opinion, there is no such thing as a naughty dog. There is no such thing as a dog misbehaving. They are trying to do what works. They are trying to make themselves feel better. They're trying to get what they need. They are trying often to communicate with us. And people don't listen. People think all this stuff is naughty because dogs don't have an opinion. Dogs shouldn't communicate, and they do. So my role, or our role as dog trainers in this world, in this partnership, life between your dog, your family and your dog, is not to make your dog behave. It's actually to teach you how to communicate with your dog. It's to teach you how to tweak what you're doing. So good training comes from a person growing and developing and making changes to themselves, what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they're expecting of their dog tweaks so that the communication, the relationship is clearer, and therefore your dog feels more understood, and we know how to avoid, minimise, or stop unwanted behaviours that we would see as being naughty. So let's look at what that can involve. Yes, obviously I am a dog trainer in terms of I train my own dogs. And very, very, very occasionally, I will take the lead and show you what to do with your dog. But very, very occasionally, I was talking about this in class the other day. The reason why I will rarely take your dog from you and show you how to do it is because, as we say, it's 50-50, right? I know what to do. It's my job. I have trained thousands of dog owners how to interact with their dog. I've trained all my own dogs. I've trained dogs that I've looked after or been in my care. Therefore, the human part comes naturally to me. Therefore, when I do it with your dog's going to respond because they're like, oh, wow, clear communication. I understand what's needed of me. Brilliant, I know what to do, and therefore it looks good. It looks like your puppy can do it. And how does that make you feel? If you're struggling with your dog, struggling with them to do something, and then I go, here, give me the lead, and they do it perfectly, you are going to feel like utter shit. There's no point sugarcoating it. You're going to feel rubbish. Because then you go, oh, my dog doesn't love me. It's me, it's not them, it's our relationship, I'm crap. How does that help you? So that's why if you ever work with me sort of in person, I will rarely take the lead. The only time I will take the lead is if someone needs to have something demonstrated and my instructions are not enough, or I need to show them what I need. And to be honest, I do that once in a blue moon. So what do we do? What do we help with? One, we teach people how to break down tasks, how to make it really easy. Because often we want this, and actually we need to work on this little bit right here, and that bit then has a spiral effect and helps with everything else. So we teach you how to break down overwhelming tasks into small things. So obviously you've got a really broad term of reward what you like, and prevent what you don't like happening. Right, easy, in a nutshell, done. You know, if someone asks me about lead work, I'm like, easy. You reward them for what you like, you stop every time they fall. If it was that easy, I wouldn't have a job, because it's not that easy. They're two very, very, very broad things, and it's breaking those down that is the key. So we teach you how to break down those things, how to do it all. So breaking it down into really, really small, achievable goals. And that, or tasks even, simple things, life changes, because we often, I've talked about this previously on the podcast, we often expect the dog to make all the changes to meet us and for us to just carry on. But actually we have to make a lot of adaptations in our life to accommodate puppy, dog, or to make allowances, not necessarily allowance, but to create situations where they can succeed. If we're expecting too much, they're never going to do it. So we help you break down tasks into really small, easy, achievable goals that build on success. We teach you how to respond to what your dog's doing in the moment. In this moment, do this. If that happens, do this. It's almost like a little flow chart that goes down the way. So that then you know in a problem-solving manner, right, when this is happening, I switch to doing this. When that's switching, I do to this. So you've got a clear, A or B option. We look at things like your treat delivery. How are you giving generally we look at food rewards. How are you actually delivering those? And it's things like not just, how am I giving a dog here? We can deliver it in many different ways, but we will advise you on hold your hand slightly lower, move your hand slightly towards them, keep your hand next to your leg. Very, very, very small motions, movements, very tiny mechanics of a much bigger picture. If we deliver our treat in one way or hold our treat out and it encourages unwanted behaviour, without us realising, training doesn't work because of miscommunication. So we advise you on how to tweak what you're doing, how to deliver the treats. We teach you different types of rewards, when to use one, when to the other. So again, it's a lot about coaching people on how to make small changes to affect their bigger life. We look at lifestyles. So in your lifestyle, how can you fit in this? So for example, scent detection, first activity to help build your dog's confidence, sit and do it while you're watching the telly. Because we know everyone's life's busy, right? My life's super busy. I'm sure yours is too. You've got so much going on. I can't say to you every day, I want you to practice this for half an hour or an hour, because you'll be like, I can't do it. So we will help you fit in or create new habits that assist your training. So for example, in the morning, when you've got that 1 minute, just practice this 5 times. It's trying to slot your training into your already done, which is why when we meet someone new, we ask you about your day. We ask you about what your day looks like. We ask you about what your dog's day looks like. So then we can pick out how can we give you advice to actually make not changes to the dog, but make it achievable so that you can fit it into your life. Because, if someone says to me, you just need to practice this 1 minute every day, that is so much easier than saying you need to find half an hour block of time. Because finding a half an hour when you've got nothing else to do to dedicate to your dog is quite tricky. Because naturally, I think we all live busy lives. There's always something or someone wanting your attention or needing something from you: work, kids, family, spouse. There's so much going on. Whereas if I said you find 1 minute, where have you got 1 minute? Normally, if you're waiting for your toast to pop, if you're waiting for the kettle to boil, those are the moments we can actually get in some really, really valuable training that help with other things. At the beginning of your walk, do this before doing that. It's these small changes to your approach, your lifestyle, and you that actually help your dog. It's not about your dog making massive changes. So often when we look at making positive changes and big changes, it's through a series of really small, easily achievable, easily sort of attainable tasks. And that's where the success comes from. When we recognise that we are 50%, if not a bit more. I'd actually say it's more than that. I would say it's probably an 80-20 split. 80% is how we interact with our dogs, and 20% is the dogs. It's really, really small element. Because dogs do what they do. We just have to work out timing. How quickly do I need to do that? At what point do I do that? So it's the timing. It's the fitting training into our life. It's the mechanics of how we deliver things. It's making big tasks broken down into small tasks. That's where our success comes from. So next time you think about a dog trainer, don't think they are dog whisperers. They know everything about dogs. Of course, yes, we know quite a lot about dogs, but actually we know a lot about humans. You could have the most dog savvy professional, expert in the world, but if they can't break down tasks and get people on board with their part of the job, that you're part of the relationship with your dog, then they're never going to get success. So working with people is actually what we do. So I always say we'd like to change the title. We're not dog trainers, we're dog companion coaches. The person who looks after the dog, we coach you. But that doesn't sound as good and it doesn't roll off the tongue as easily. So my task for you today is think about how much you expect your dog to change without making any changes yourself. Because it probably is a little bit higher than it should be in most people's cases. I know it is for me. I have to go, no, right, what do I need to do? Think about something that you're wanting to work on. Say, for example, it's lead work. Think about how you can break that down into really small, I just want this to happen. Think about how you can fit in an extra minute in your day, or just 1 minute. When have you got a minute spare that you can work with your dog on something? Just a minute. And I say it could be first thing before you get up, before you eat breakfast. It could be while the kettle's boiling. It could be, I don't know, while you're waiting for the washing to finish. Little moment. Where can you fit it in? Could it be at the beginning of your walk? Could it be at the end of your walk? Just a minute here and there is going to be so game changery. Think about yourself. What are you doing? Does it help? Are you hindering your dog? So, for example, think about how you're feeding your treats, where you're feeding your treats. Do I need to tweak something? And the best way of looking at that mechanics of what you're doing is filming yourself. Film yourself training your dog and look at it. Because then you see basically what I see from my perspective. When I'm looking at a dog and how I'm trying to help the family, I see the dog and I see the human, and I see the whole picture, and I can pull bits out and see what's going wrong. Effectively, if you are filming yourself training your dog and then watching it back, you are doing my job. You are then potentially going to pick out little things and go, oh, I didn't notice that, because you're only seeing it from your point of view. So film yourself doing stuff with your dogs. It is so valuable. And just think about what changes you could make in your life. And of course, if you want help with this in our community, the Potter Academy, we have exercises broken down into snippets. We have advice, but we also have online virtual coaching where we can find out a little bit more about your life and help you fit this task in. Because as I say, we are human coaches. We don't train dogs. We don't train your dog. You do all that. We just coach and support you through it. So next time you're thinking, my dog is naughty, my dog is misbehaving, I need my dog to do this, stop and think, what do I need to do to help them achieve it? What do I need to do to help give more time to make sure that the communication I'm offering is most valuable? Hopefully you found this episode useful, helpful. Just again, another spin on the world of dogs. Have a wonderful week. Do comment, share, like, as always, and I'll catch up with you guys really soon. If you love listening to the podcast, why not check out the Potter Academy for practical dog training advice and how-to videos. The hub is broken down into sections and hundreds of pre-recorded videos are there for you to start watching whenever you choose. You can watch them back as many times as you like. You also get to talk to other community members and discuss your training and benefit from live Q&As with myself where you can get your questions answered. Why not make use of our 3-day free trial where you can access all of the content on the hub absolutely free for 3 days. The link is in the description below, so do check that out. And I can't wait to see you in the hub. Thank you for listening to The Dynamic Dog Owner with me, Debbie Potter. See you next time.